What is a Catholic priest? There are priests in most religions. Priests are seen as mediators between God and men. They instruct people, sanctify the people, and offer sacrifices on behalf of them. Priests also existed in Judaism, and they did the same thing. They instructed people, sanctified them, and offered sacrifices on their behalf. Now, Christianity comes from Judaism. That's why we have priests who... Wait a minute. No. In Christianity, something changes. Here there is only one priest, namely Jesus Christ. Just like other priests, Christ instructed the people, sanctified them, and offered a sacrifice. But he did all of this in such a perfect way that nothing can actually be added to it. Jesus is the perfect mediator between God and man, and no wonder, being true God and true man. But since Jesus is the perfect mediator who, risen from the dead, dies no more, there's only one single high priest in the new covenant, Christ. But then who are all these men in black shirts and robes? What are Catholic priests? Well, it's like this. We have already said that Jesus offered the perfect sacrifice on the cross. He gave up his life out of love for mankind. In order that the sacrifice of the cross may remain present and continue to sanctify mankind, Jesus instituted the sacrament of the Eucharist at the Last Supper, which we call the sacrifice of the Mass. As was said before, it is not a new sacrifice, but rather the making present of the sacrifice of the cross. The actual priest offering the sacrifice of the Mass is indeed Christ himself. He is the sacrifice and the one who sacrifices. He gives himself to the Heavenly Father. So far, so good. But everything that happens at Mass isn't just something purely spiritual, but a sacrament, that is, a visible sign instituted by Christ. And if in the Holy Eucharist the sacrifice is represented through the species of bread and wine, then the one who sacrifices should also be represented in some way. And this is precisely what the sacramental priesthood does. The ordained priest is there in order to represent Christ, to make Christ present, and to make him visible. The ordained priest doesn't act in his own name. Rather, through his ordination, he participates in the one priesthood of Christ. Consecrated into the one priesthood of Christ, he acts in persone Christi, as it is called in Latin. This makes the priest in the Catholic understanding completely different from any priest in any other religion. The Catholic priest as a man doesn't offer for himself or for other people. He doesn't act in his own name or on account of his own personal holiness. No, in celebration of the sacraments and especially in the celebration of the Eucharist, he makes Christ present. The moments in which he is most a priest are the moments he is least himself. Sounds mystical, and it is.